Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode, coming fresh off of a awful finish in Texas after we had a pretty bad crash over there, flipping the car multiple times. We're coming into Bristol, a track we usually run well at, so I'd had some pretty high hopes coming into this event. We had Eric Jones back in the Xfinity Series cars for us this event, and he started in the second position. He's only done one race for us so far, and he won that race back at Las Vegas, but he wouldn't be able to stick with the second position. He would actually drift back a little bit to where he was battling for third with Justin Allgaier after Ryan Preece had gotten past him, getting loose there as he came out of turn 4, losing the spot to Allgaier, but he would use a slide job just about there going into turns 1 and 2, trying to regain the position now as Brandon Jones would look up his inside as he went down the straightaway. He would send it in once again and clear Allgaier, and he would be holding on to P3 coming down the final the back straightaway on the final lap as Jones would get to his inside, and he would try to cross over him as he came through turns 3 and turns 4. For the final time out of turn 4, Jones would edge out Brandon Jones to take over the third position at the line. So a good result for Eric Jones. The momentum keeps building for us in the Xfinity team, and now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race. We usually qualify really good here and usually run really good in the first 2 stages or so, and then the third stage it always seems to fade away from us. So I was kind of expecting the same coming into this event here in Bristol, but we're going to see what we can do here. And as we came to qualifying down through turns 3 and 4, we haven't had the best qualifying efforts this season, but that would be about to change as we came out of turn 4, coming through to cross the line. We would get the pole for the first time this season with a 16.926. So let's see if we can hold on to that top position here in Bristol Motor Speedway.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee for the running of the Food City 500. This half-mile concrete oval is famous for its high-banking, stadium-like seating and all the beating and banging that goes on between the competitors. In fact, sometimes there are more fireworks during this race than on the 4th of July. But there's no room for hurt feelings or bruised egos today. All that matters to these drivers is winning this race. This is Bristol Motor Speedway, and this is NASCAR Racing on PRN.
Alright, we are ready to go green here from the pole position alongside Joey Logano for the Food City 500. Denny Hamlin starting in the back after missing the driver's meeting. Nice job by Denny there as we get ready to start the race here in Bristol on the pole for the first time this season as we're ready to go green. Can we get win number 2 on the season as the green flag is out, and we are underway here in Bristol, immediately getting clear of Joey Logano as we head down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time in this event. Now as Logano's going to try and build up the momentum as we come down the back straightaway, heading down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the first time here in Bristol today. As we come out of turn 4, we will at least lead the first lap as we get sideways out of turn 4, but thankfully we hang on to the car now as we are just barely ahead of the 22 as we exit turn 2. He's trying to look to my inside now, but we are able to hang on to the position as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Busch looks up the inside now of Logano as we exit turns 4 to complete the second lap of this race. And we would continue to hold on to this front position here in Bristol by the time we closed in towards the midway point of this first stage, still pulling away at the first few laps, but as we came to the midway point now, 17 of 30 in stage 1, Elliott had actually closed in on me as he was all over my back bumper, so it was all about just maintaining this lead as I knew we didn't have the fastest car right now, so we were just trying to hold the lead the best I could, trying to force the 9 of Elliott to use a lane that's not going to be able to propel him ahead of me, and we would continue to hold on to this front position. He worked our way into the lap traffic by the time we came about 21 of 30 in stage 1, starting to work our way through and pull away again from Elliott as Ryan Newman comes to pit road with a blown engine. I'm sure he'll be back though, the way NASCAR Heat 3 works with blown engines now, as we would get to the back of Landon Castle as we would try to look to his inside, but he certainly doesn't leave me a lane on the bottom, but we would be able to still maintain that gap to Elliott as he would close in a little bit more though as we came towards just 2 laps to go now in the stage as we cross the line behind Sorensen and Joey Gase, who battle side by side as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2, dealing with a little bit of a loose car going on to the entrance of the corners. We make contact with Sorensen as we head down the back straightaway into turn 3, and he's going to hit the wall, and that would end up bringing out a caution and ending the stage, surprisingly, as he barely hit it and a caution came out. So an interesting way to end the stage as he hit the wall off of me, unfortunately, so we bring out a caution to end the stage 1, but we do pick up a playoff point for the stage victory. And we would not come to pit road, as no one else would obviously pit, so we would get ready to start stage 2 from the lead position again here in Bristol as we're ready to go green, and the green flag is back out, and we are underway once again in Bristol. This stage is just 29 laps, 1 lap shorter than the first stage, and like I said earlier, the car, I knew at this point we didn't have the fastest car, but if we can just maintain this lead and force these guys behind us to hit a lane that they can't really get past me, then we'll be in good shape now as we come out of turn 4. Heading down the front straightaway, we would get into the wall there as we came out of turn 4, crossing the line. A big mistake on my part as I just completely misjudged the exit of turn 4, and Clint Boyer, he would move up into the second position in front of Chase Elliott now as we went down into turns 3 and turns 4, just trying to maintain that gap. Like I said earlier, that's all it's about right now for us as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. Chase Elliott continuing to drop down the order after starting second on the outside line now as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4. Clint Boyer about 2 car lengths or so behind now as he closes into even closer now, about 1 car length as we exit turn 4, getting close to that wall. And by the time we came to lap 16 of 29 in stage 2, we had stretched the gap out a little bit, and we were starting to run down some lap traffic here as we went down towards turn 3. Ryan Truex looking like he's going to be the first victim as we close in on his back bumper. And obviously we were doing a good job right here just maintaining the gap there as we get sideways going into turns 1 there as I hit the apron just a little bit. Did not mean to do it, but as I went down into the corner, the back end just barely kicked out and that pushed me down to the apron. Thankfully, we hang onto the car and continue to at least pull away for the moment over Clint Boyer and other drivers, and we would continue working our way through. We would pass Alex Bowman to put him a lap down. Joey Logano actually would work his way through to take over the second position here in Bristol as Clint Boyer, he started to fall down the order a little bit there, so Logano was trying to set his sights on closing in on me as we battle alongside Austin Dillon to put him, or Daniel Hemrick that was, to put him a lap down. And by the time we were approaching the final lap in the stage, still leading this thing, just pulling away as we take the white flag now in stage 2, as we were just pretty much cruising in these first 2 stages towards the end, as we're just trying to hang on now to another stage victory as we head down the back straightaway for the final time as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4 in stage 2. We are going to hang on out of turn 4 to win stage 2 and get another playoff point today in Bristol now, as we've gained 2 playoff points in this race, and we obviously gained 5 or so, I think 5 or 6 in Martinsville when we won. I couldn't remember if we won a stage though. And we would have to come to pit road here and take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and there would actually be a little bit of a mixed strategy as we would drop down a bunch of positions, which was very unfortunate for me. But you see a bunch of cars took maybe 2 tires, some took no tires, and now here we are towards about 15th as we're ready to start this final stage as the green flag is back out and we are underway for the final stage. Do we have enough time to work our way back to the front after giving up the lead position? Now 61 laps remain. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch all behind me. They finished up at the front of the pack with me in stage 2 as we make contact with Kyle Busch. So certainly mixed strategies all around. Chase Elliott, he's one of the guys that took maybe 2 tires as he's up there battling for second with Clint Boyer now as we come out of turn 4, crossing the stripe, completing the first lap in this final stage now as we go on the inside of David Reagan as we come out of turn 2. He is going to be able to hold the position for the moment now as we head down into turn 3, trying to get ahead of Reagan. Then we might finally do it now as we come out of turn 4. We are able to clear David Reagan to take over P13 and now as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2, which is 59 laps to go at this point. Logano looking to my right rear as he builds up a run on my outside, but we have Suarez maybe as a pick as we can use him to get to his inside, and that's certainly going to slow Logano up, and we are able to hold on to the position and pass Daniel Suarez in the process now as we send it up the inside of Eric Almirola. Now Joey Logano all over my back bumper as he'd gotten back to the bottom, as he certainly has a faster car than me at this point, but they lose quite a bit of momentum, and Logano would continue to follow me. By the time I came to lap 75, we had worked our way into the 5th position, now passing Clint Boyer, but Logano would continue, like I said, to follow me through the pack, and we were up into the 5th position trying to hold off Logano as Jimmy Johnson sends it up his inside and passes him, and we would move up to P4 by the time I came to lap 88, continuing to slowly move our way forward as we have the top 3 cars way up ahead at this point, dealing with lap traffic. Certainly we have a fast car late in this race. I knew right here we don't still have the fastest car, but lap traffic could certainly help me here with 37 laps remaining in this event. And we have Austin Dillon actually up there leading this race right now over Brad Keselowski and Chase Elliott. But as you see way up ahead, Chase Elliott's actually passing Austin Dillon now to take the lead as we start clicking off these lap cars. As you can see up ahead, Keselowski, he's certainly stuck right now in the lap traffic. So we're closing in on these guys trying to put the pressure on now as we come down the back straightaway, closing in on Landon Castle. And by the time we came to lap 91, we would be able to get to the outside of Landon Castle, as he was a bit defensive of the bottom, so we would have to make the pass on the top now as we head down into turns 1 and turns 2. He is certainly not going to be easy on me as we exit turn 2. Going down the back straightaway, Martin Truex Jr. now joining the party as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4. He's going to try and look to the inside of Castle, but we're going to be able to just barely clear them both as we come out of turn 4, passing the 3 as well of Austin Dillon to take over the 3rd position now as we continue to move forwards here in Bristol. Austin Dillon going to fight back on the top line, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough as we send it up the inside of Daniel Hemrick, going into turns 1 and turns 2 now as we head down the front straightaway, continuing to close in on the cars up ahead. By the time we came to lap 126 to go, making it 3 wide with Paul Menard and Reed Sorensen as we come out of turn 2, going down the back straightaway, trying to run down the 2 cars up ahead of Elliott and Keselowski, who are only separated by a few car lengths with each other, and we only have 1 car between ourselves and them right now. And by the time we came to lap 111, Keselowski had been stuck in lap traffic again, and we would look to his inside as we came through turns 1 and 2, as we had run him down as we battle side by side, going down the back straightaway. As we head down into turn 3, we would get clear of Keselowski and take over the 2nd position now as we come out of turn 4. And now Keselowski would cross me over just about as he tried it. Now we go in pretty deep into turns 1 and 2, making a mistake, and that allows Keselowski to look to my inside as we come down the back straightaway, and he would get clear, and then he would pretty much be able to hold off my run as he would just continue to drive away late in this race, as he certainly was faster than me as we came towards just 3 laps to go. Looking up the inside now of the 43 of Bubba Wallace, trying to run past him as we get into the side of him now as we hit 2 laps to go in this race. Keselowski all the way up to Chase Elliott, passing him as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, approaching the final lap here in Bristol, but the caution would come out and we would be forced to overtime. And I knew that we probably don't have the speed to win this race, as we have a bit of an incident there with Parker Kligerman as we barely just escaped getting hit as we would skip through to take to the next scene of getting ready to go green here in Bristol for overtime, as the green flag is back out. Brad Keselowski now leading this race as he tries to hold on to a victory late in Bristol now as we head down into turns 1 and 2. Elliott and Keselowski side by side as we try to look to the inside of Elliott now as we come up on the 22, making a little bit of contact as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4, approaching the final lap. Keselowski clear, and away he goes as we come into turn 4 side by side with the 9 of Chase Elliott now as we head into turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time in Bristol. Keselowski in command. All he has to do is not screw up now as we head down into turns 3 and turns 4 for one last time, sending it up the inside of Elliott but giving him the room he needs. As we come out of turn 4, Keselowski wins in Bristol, and Elliott edges me out at the line as we would come through to finish in the 3rd position, which I wasn't really disappointed about because it's a good rebound after what happened at the end of last episode, obviously, with a horrible finish after flipping multiple times down the front straightaway. So I was happy with that. Martinsville we won, Bristol a 3rd place finish, so we've had some momentum here recently, so hopefully we can continue and build off of these good runs that we've had recently and shut out the negative runs. So hopefully this is something to build off of, and we can continue to run good here in the future as we sit 6th in the points now with 8 playoff points. So that's always good to have. We need those playoff points. That's what got us in the Final Four last season, and we need to get as many playoff points as possible. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. In the next one, we are going to Richmond in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, a track that we usually qualify pretty decent at. We usually run top 10 there unless something goes wrong. So hopefully we can maybe have some luck on our side and get some cautions late in the race that could allow me to have a chance at a win. You never know. But that'll do it for this one, guys. 16th is Almirola in the playoff standings, so currently holds the last position, as there's not really anyone even close on points to making it in outside of the top 16 right now. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.